This is the story of Caleb and what we can learn from his life. The Israelites were in the wilderness of Paran and Moses was their leader. One day the Lord told Moses to send a few Israelites into the land of Canaan. Canaan was the land that God had promised to give the Israelites one day. The Lord told Moses to select 12 leaders from the 12 tribes of Israel. After Moses did that, he gave them the following instructions. Go north through the Negev and see what the land is like. Are the people strong or are they weak? Are there many people or just a few? Is the land good or is it bad? Is the soil fertile or is it poor? Do the towns have walls or are they open camps? Are there many trees? And also, since it was the season for harvesting the first ripe grapes, Moses told them to bring back a few samples of crop. So the 12 Israelites set out for Canaan and explored it for 40 whole days. And in a valley, they find some grapes. They cut down a single cluster of grapes, which was so huge that 2 Israelites had to carry it on a pole between them. They also brought back some pomegranates and figs. So they returned back to Moses, Aaron, and the other Israelites. And this is the report that 10 of them gave. It is a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. But the people living there, they are too powerful. We saw giants and the towns are large and fortified. And the Canaanites are not the only ones living there. There are other people too, like the Amalekites, the Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites. But the report that Caleb and Joshua gave was completely different. Caleb was the son of Jephunneh from the tribe of Judah, and Joshua was the son of Nun from the tribe of Ephraim. They tried to quiet the people and said, "Let's go at once to take the land. We can certainly conquer it." But the other 10 men disagreed. "We can't go up against them. They are much stronger than we are." And then they spread this bad report among all the Israelites. The land we explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people we saw were huge. They were giants and we felt like just grasshoppers next to them. And they even assumed that this is what the Canaanites thought of them. Hearing all this bad report, the whole community of Israel starts weeping aloud. They cried all night and their voices rose in great protest against Moses and Aaron. "If only we had died in Egypt," they said, "or even in the wilderness. Why is the Lord taking us to this country to have us all die in battle?" They assumed that their wives and children would be carried off as plunder. They guessed that it would be better for them to return back to Egypt. They plotted among themselves to choose a new leader and do just that. Hearing all this, Joshua and Caleb are very upset. They tear their clothing and tell the other Israelites that the land they explored was a wonderful land, and if the Lord was pleased with them, He would certainly bring them to it. They tried to convince them, saying, "Do not rebel against the Lord and don't be afraid of the people of this land. They are only helpless prey to us because we are God's children and we have His protection with us always." Hearing all this good report, the whole community wanted to stone Joshua and Caleb. Just then, the Lord's glorious presence appeared. He wanted to destroy all the Israelites immediately, but then Moses prayed on their behalf. The Lord declared that not even one of these people would enter that land or even see it. But this is what the Lord told about Caleb. "My servant Caleb has a different attitude than the others have. He has remained loyal to me. The Lord said that He would bring him into the land that he explored." This is the instruction that the Lord gave Moses regarding the other Israelites. He told them to turn around and not go into the land of Canaan. Tomorrow they had to set out for the wilderness in the direction of the Red Sea. So this is where the Israelites' 40-year-long wilderness journey started. One day of exploring the land of Canaan became 1 year of roaming in the wilderness. What can we learn from this story? Though all the 12 Israelite leaders went to the same place, saw the same thing for 40 days, there are stark differences in their reports. The first one was given by 10 of them, and the second by Caleb and Joshua. The first report was given by seeing the land, its people, and their enormity with their physical worldly eyes. The second report was given by seeing through eyes of faith, seeing beyond the visible and hoping in what is not tangible. The 10 depended on strength in numbers and power in armies, but the 2 knew that only God's Spirit was enough to charge ahead. And that is why the 10 people wanted to run away from the battle, whereas the 2 wanted to run towards the battle and inherit the land. The majority forgot that God is able to deliver what He promised, no matter the circumstance or difficulty. However, Caleb and Joshua trusted the unshakable promises of an unchanging God. Fear of the enemy's size and number had filled the minds of the people who gave the first report, whereas a zeal to overcome the enemy with God's strength had overtaken Caleb and Joshua. The first report conveyed a negative approach to obstacles and thus discouraged everyone who heard it. However, the second one had a positive approach and was filled with positivity and energy and charged up its hearers. The more and more the bad reports spread, more people were convinced to take the popular yet negative side, whereas Caleb and Joshua stood for the right thing, though it was unpopular, because they knew that God was on their side. The reward was that the 10 Israelites who spread the bad report were struck with a plague and did not get to see the promised land, but Caleb and Joshua later possessed Canaan, and it passes on to their descendants as a blessing. So you see, it is very, very important to have the eyes of faith to see the impossible, be assured of Christ's strength in you. Remember that our battles are not our own but God's. Be positive even in a negative world. Trust God's promises because He is faithful. Have an undying zeal for the Lord because He loves us very much. And finally, stand for what is right, even if you are standing alone.